Welcome. Um, it's Rob here for R. Leland Arts. Thanks for coming by. I just wanted to, give a little bit about myself as it pertains to my artwork, why I do it, etc., etc. So, I guess I'll start by saying first that it my artwork is, I don't know, although it hadn't been clinically diagnosed, this is probably like my therapy. Just at least as it seems to me, that's at least what it looks like it's becoming. I've been an artist since I was younger. It's just something that hey, when I got nothing else to do, I bust out a paper and pen, pencil, whatever, and just kind of get lost in the creative process. Like I say, I've been doing it since I was a kid. So I mean, like since I was 4 is when I can recall that, hey, I was like getting paper and drawing. It's just something that when all else fails, like it's kind of like my it's relaxing for me. I can create a world in which things go as I want them to. I think everybody knows, hey, things don't always go the way we want in this lifetime. But like I say, it calms me. It just kind of keeps me good. Granted, there's a lot of times when I might start working on something and it's trash, and you know there's a lot of times when I may be almost finished with something and then just scrap it just because it's not coming out the way that I was seeing it in my mind's eye. Um, but that's to be expected. You know, and I just, I got into the comic book thing when I was probably like in middle school, so like 11, 12. Actually got in trouble for drawing in the class, and that was something that kind of followed me throughout my academic career. I had a few cool art teachers. I had a lot that didn't necessarily approve of my style of artwork, which is it's whatever. I've always looked at art as something that's subjective. So it doesn't have to look like, Picasso, like Rembrandt or anything like that. Like as long as you're content, satisfied with what it is that you're creating, uh, like who's to say that you're doing it the wrong way? So that's it's kind of the way I look at it. I'm not a I guess the teachy art kind of person. Although I do plan to share like my techniques and everything like that, just depending on how everything goes. Like, you guys might click on this video and then decide like, oh, I can't stand his voice or the way he talks or anything like that. Um, but yeah, like I'll keep doing it until I can't draw anymore. Like I say, I consider this to be my first love. It's a passion of mine. I get the most amount of joy sitting right here at this desk, and just getting lost in whatever it is I'm working on at the time. Uh, it's just one of those things. But I digress. Like I say, I got into it just kind of making comic books in class, if you want to call it that. It's just basically like just 3 pieces of paper, fold them in half, and hey, you got a cover in like a 6-page book. So like that was my little technique coming up. Um, but I will say the main reason why it was comic book form was just because I always wanted to do animation. And I mean, hey, anybody who knows at least a little bit about animation just knows like, hey, it's a process, uh, uh, a long process, especially if you're one individual. Um, Thankfully, I think now technology has made it a lot easier for, I mean, anyone to start a animated video. I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about like wanting to do the stick figure, simple stuff. Like, I wanted to do like just straight up like Japanese animation, and that's like, I don't know what team of people they got, uh, like what their sleep schedule is or anything like that, but it's not for the weak, to say the least. So yeah, and it's just something, like I said, that I've come to enjoy. It There's not a whole lot of things that I'd rather be doing like outside of it, um, and I probably spend a good unhealthy amount of time trying to draw something. If I'm at work, or, if I'm at home, I'm trying to work on something, some kind of way, just to you know keep the skills sharp. There's times when I might start on something and it's just not like, I just don't have it. Also, if there's like a big project that I may have been working on, excuse me, I mean, I usually take a nice little cool down period, where it's like, hey, like I don't want to draw anybody's tattoo. I don't want to design anything. I don't want to do anything. Like, just let me kind of recharge that creative spirit, you know. And I mean, before you know it, it's kicked right back in, and I'm, you know, looking up on a work night at 12:45, like, I need to take my ass to bed. So yeah, it's just like I say, want to come through and hit everybody with a little introduction about myself, what it is I do, uh, why I do it, and yeah, look forward to seeing this expand. I look forward to interacting with some of you all, if y'all are, and it doesn't matter. I think, I guess one thing I do want to say is, like, anybody can draw. Like, it's not a thing of where, oh, I just can't do it. Like, anybody can do it. It's all about the practice, I guess, the amount of time that you would put into it. But that's, I mean, like, isn't that like with anything? You only get out what you put into it. Uh, so, like, if you don't put a lot into your marriage, you're not going to get a lot out of it, right? But again, I digress. Um, if you want to do it, you don't have to have, all of the tech, depending, I mean, I guess if you want to do digital, of course you're going to need certain programs and everything like that. I myself, I work on a Alienware X17. I think that's the name of this thing. Um, I'm not an Apple person, so no Macs. And I mean, like, most of the stuff that I have, like, I'm I'm Team Android over here, so this stuff just kind of works better with everything else I have. So that's why I do the Alienware. But I mean, it doesn't matter. One thing I would say, especially if you're going down a digital route, um, like don't skimp on the specs of whatever it is. I mean, it makes all the difference. When I was married, one of the things that I would always do is kind of like end up going through laptops. I made the mistake of buying, I think it was HP, which would, hey, whatever, but it wasn't what I needed, um, creative wise. And after a while, the HP crapped out. So yeah, like, there's always a reason why you might want to, you make sure that, even if you got to save a little bit, like I say, it doesn't have to be a gaming rig. The only reason why I went that route, I was like, well, if it can handle these like games and everything, it should have no problem, um, with Photoshop and Illustrator and After Effects and so on and so forth. So like that was, like I say, that was my reason as to why I went the route I did. But hey, there's more than one way to get to the finish line. Um, and we all just got to kind of choose the best route for ourselves. So yeah, like I say, I hope to see you guys more. Um, and like, share, follow, all that good stuff. I'm not the type who tries to beg a like out of someone, but I mean, hey, it seems to be working for everybody else. I might as well give it a shot. So yeah, look forward to seeing you guys, and I mean, more artwork on the way. The best is yet to come.